Welcome to Eden and Amadeus, the podcast. We've got a fun little list to run down for you that I'm excited to hear. Also, we've got the Battle of the Sexes recap coming up, an interview with a local charity that's going to really tug at your heart.
Okay. And it's, you know, what's interesting about this, even though this is a global podcast and this is a local organization, it really opens up your eyes to the need for something that you never really think about. And so anyone in any place in the world could use an organization like this. And so maybe it'll spark some conversation. But first, let's dig into this list that you very broadly mentioned.
Yeah, I saw this list. I think it was earlier in the week, and I like to not read lists so you can like surprise me with things. Whenever I see things that I think about when we talk about on the radio, I want to be like, I always like to put myself in the place of the person driving the car, listening to the radio, going, okay. Oh, that's that.
Okay, so let me go down this list for you. It's kids think these random things mean you're officially old.
Oh, boy.
So this was just a survey they did. And these are kids that are around 10 years old where these things happen. So they basically said to all these people, you know, tell us something that your kid assumed made you very, very old. Like a kid told someone they were too old because they were born in the 1900s. Well, that would be anyone over the age of 24. But it sounds super old when you say it like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, think about when we were kids, something happened in the 1800s.
I know. Like your grandma might have been born. Yeah. Mine wasn't, but
yeah, mine either. But it wasn't that long ago.
Right. A teacher got called old because she told her students that she saw the original Shrek in movie theaters. The original Shrek. I saw the original Shrek in theaters too.
That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it really was though.
Was it?
It really was. Yes.
Wow. Wait, that wasn't in the 1900s, was it?
Yes, it was. Someone was called old by a kid because they have used VHS tapes, and someone else got called old because they knew what a DVD was.
Oh my gosh.
Knew what it was.
Just knew what it was. Listen, VHS tape. I still have some of mine.
So do I.
I'm like, I'm not getting rid of that.
A kid called someone old because they still use CDs in their car. That's you.
That's me, and I still order CDs. I use CDs. I like to read the liner notes.
You're the only one I know personally that. Yes.
Wow.
Not good or bad. I'm just saying that you're just the only one I know of. A woman got called old because she had stamps in her purse. That'd be me. I have stamps.
Okay.
I'm the person that you'll go to if you ever need a stamp.
I don't think that's old. I think that's just being prepared.
Yeah, but so rarely do I even use them. Once upon a time, I mean, I always use stamps. A kid called a guy old because he said he used to play outside when he was young. That's sad. That's so sad.
Okay, that is very sad.
A parent left someone a voicemail, and the kid said only old people do that. True, very, very rarely do people leave voicemails, but now people leave voice texts.
Yeah, I have gotten, and I'm not tech savvy, you know that. I'm probably the least tech savvy person you know, even you listening, like I am. But I've gotten really into leaving voice texts. Especially when I'm driving. Obviously, you just shouldn't be texting and driving. It's so easy. If you're sitting at a red light or something, you just grab that, leave a message, and go.
Do you do like a talk to text, or do you actually record your voice?
I record my voice.
Yeah, I like that too. I think it's so much nicer.
Yeah, I think it's it's more personal.
And the inflection can be really missed in a text.
It can make all the difference in the world.
Yes. Let's see. Another parent said they found out they were old when their daughter called them out for owning an iPod. Let me tell you, if you're sitting on an iPod right now, you probably have a little something valuable.
Wait, why is that making you old?
An iPod?
Yeah.
Well, people don't really have iPods anymore.
Oh, I do.
You have an iPod?
Yeah.
Okay. Again.
Wow.
CDs and an iPod. That's just not how people consume things anymore.
Calling me right out.
Yeah. A woman got called old because she still has a Hotmail address. I always think that when I see AOL addresses.
You know, whenever we do the Battle of the Sexes and we have to get people's email address for their prize or whatever, so many people still have AOL addresses, and they always give me the address and go, yes, I'm old.
Yes,
like, that's the follow-up.
I'm Hotmail old.
Hotmail.
That'd be a fun nickname for somebody that's old. Okay, Hotmail.
Instead of Boomer?
Yes.
Is that the new Boomer, Hotmail?
Yes, that's Gen X's version. All right, Hotmail. Okay.
Just hearing it is funny. You know why? I can hear your son saying it. I can totally hear your son calling someone Hotmail. especially me.
Oh my gosh.
Like I could actually hear him calling me that. Although I have a Gmail account, so suck it, Noah.
That made me laugh. That made me laugh. A kid called someone old when they said YouTube didn't used to have ads. It was a magical time.
But that was only like a year ago, wasn't it?
A guy's coworker told him he was old after he tossed something in a trash can from a few feet away and yelled Kobe when it went in.
Oh,
I think we should still do that in honor of Kobe.
That's
Why
an
would you not do
homage.
that?
Yeah.
A guy's much younger cousin called him old for using the laugh cry emoji. That one stung because he thought emojis made him seem cool and young.
Okay, I have to admit, I sometimes use emojis thinking it's going to make me seem like a little more, for lack of a better word, I'm old, hip.
Oh my gosh. All right, Hotmail. Good
Wait,
job.
do you use emojis?
Yes, all the time because I want to make sure people know my inflection. That's when I'm not using a voicemail on my text.
So you're not old, you're just trying to get an inflection
just trying
across.
really hard to yes. I'm just out here trying really hard.
Listen, I'm just out here listening to my CDs, walking around town with my iPod, with my Hotmail. I do not have a Hotmail account, by the way.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it as a nickname.
All right, iPod. Okay.
That sounds like, a nickname for grandparents. You have Mimi, Papa, iPod.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Let's get into this conversation we had with these two lovely ladies. One's name is Drew and one's name is Jessie Drew. That's a two first name. And they are part of a family that suffered a tragedy when 15-year-old Allison was in a tragic accident. And in a lot of cases, something good comes from something bad. And that is the case here.
Well, Allison was just such a fun-loving child. She was a great girl. I mean, we all know she was a normal 15-year-old girl. I don't want to, make it sound like she was perfect or anything because nobody is. But she was overall a really good girl. She was a hard worker. She loved her friends, and she loved her family, and she loved being with her friends and family. Probably her greatest passion in life was dancing. She loved to dance. She loved being on the stage, and she had a wonderful presence when she danced. She had the happiest, biggest smile, and it just made her shine when she was on stage. But Allison was a sweet girl, very involved in her church. She was a cheerleader and a dancer, and just she was a great daughter. And my husband and I and her brother obviously miss her very much, but we have amazing memories that we all made as a family. And so that's fun to be able to look back on.
So what inspired, obviously, a tragedy is what, we've got a tragedy here, but obviously something wonderful has sprung from that, and that's why we're talking to you and to Jessie Drew. Jessie Drew, who was Allison to you?
Well, Allison was my cousin, and we grew up down the street from each other, so she was also my best friend. And, she was somebody I knew all my life, and I could just be myself around. So when she passed, I was 17. She had just turned, I just turned 17, and she was 15 going on 16. So we were quite close in age as well. And so when she passed, it was hard for me, but, Aunt Drew was so strong and turned her tragedy into something that helps others, and I'm just so proud of that, and I'm really proud to be a part of that now, too.
So what does Angels for Allison hope to achieve? What's the mission statement?
Okay, well, don't say this. I don't know it by heart.
No, it doesn't have to be by heart. What's your goal? What's your mission?
Well, our mission is to continue Allison's joyful legacy, and we provide funerals for families who are unable to bury their child, and they're in their darkest hour. So we do everything we can to help them through the funeral process.
So we raise funds to help families who've lost a child. We pay for their burials and funerals so that they can have time to grieve and have that huge burden taken off of them. And like Andrew said, their darkest hour. So when that happens, a lot of times they're not expecting to have to bury a child, and they, sometimes also have medical expenses that they're dealing with and stuff. So we take that one part away from them and help them to kind of focus on saying goodbye to their children, and giving them a nice way to kind of do that and move on, I guess, in a way. And everybody grieves differently, but we kind of help them to take that first step.
It's kind of obvious how beneficial this is for the people you're helping, but I'm curious, Drew and Jesse Drew, how is this beneficial for you guys? What's it like, I guess, therapeutically?
Well, for me, it's been very important always to be able to give back to the community. I have always enjoyed volunteering, and I'm a teacher by trade. I still teach. I teach third grade, and I love to work with children and help their families. So between loving to volunteer and also, always being around families and children, it just kind of was natural that this is the way I wanted to continue going. And it's just a feel good, because I remember those days like it was yesterday, obviously. And that's a very rough time, as you can imagine. But it just, to me, it just is a mission that I believe in so much. Our whole family believes in it. We don't believe that anyone should go into debt to have to bury their child. So for us, just being able to help families when they need it is just a great feeling. I'm just a big believer in giving of yourself and doing the best you can to make the world a better place, which I know sounds so cliche, but helping families when they need it most.
And one thing that Uncle Lee said, too, is this is not like a different kind of foundation like cancer and stuff where they're looking for a cure. There is no cure for this, is what he said. And so, unfortunately, we are dealing with, sometimes up to 20 families or more a month that are losing their children. And this is probably something that's going to continue forever. So we are giving back to our community in a way that seems sad, of course, when you first say it, but we are giving hope to these families, and we're doing something that will be an issue in our community forever. We're helping with this one thing that will never go away.
Can I add something? You probably figured out Uncle Lee is my husband, but also on the part of the foundation, what it means to me, from the minute word got out that Allison had been in this accident, our friends and family surrounded us. And that's the other reason we can't go surround all the families that we help, but we can do this one little thing to lift the burden for them. And that was so impactful for me, the kindness of people. My husband says that, our son says that. It's the kindness of people that makes such a difference, and we have lived that. And people they have such good hearts.
How can people help you? How can, either through donation, and then also we want to know how people can reach out to seek the help from Angels for Allison. But right now we've got a gala coming up we want to talk about, and I'm sure there are other ways people can, through fundraising efforts, help you out.
Because Jessie Drew is chairing the gala, I think it's fair that she better answer this one.
Well, one of the biggest things we do to fundraise is our biggest gala every year. So this year it's on November 8th. It's called Flight of Fancy. It's at the Garden Club, and it's kind of a celebration of the impact we've had in the community. So, again, our service is here for a sad reason, but we want to celebrate what we've been able to achieve. And so we've had a band, we've got food, we've got drinks, we've got all the fun stuff, even a live and silent auction. And, people will either become sponsors of that. They'll donate auction items to that, and then they'll also just buy tickets and join us. And that helps us to raise a lot of the funds that we need to continue doing what we're doing. Otherwise, there's always a way to donate. You can find it on our webpage, which is www.angelsforallison.org. And then please follow us on social media. Too, we usually do a few campaigns a year as well, asking for help. But they usually are not just, asking. It's around Allison's birthday or Giving Tuesday or something like that too. But we have quite a few events throughout the year. We have plenty of ways to donate. And then one thing we've brought back is our Painting Angels, and that's the way that we bring the community together to create these angels. And the angels that are painted go to our families who have lost a child. Usually the name of the child is on there too. And that's the way we kind of give back to our families and help to remember their children.
What is that? What Painting Angels? I don't understand. What is it? A figurine or is it a mural or what?
Yeah, so we have these metal angels, and it actually was one of the first things that Angels for Allison did in the community. So they're small metal angels, and we paint them usually bright, happy colors, things like that, little designs and stuff. And we put the children's name on them, like I said, and we send them out to the families so that they can remember them. But they're quite small and easy to get around, so we do have community painting efforts. We used to have a studio, and we don't anymore, but we're able to, sometimes utilize a church or something and get a group together to paint these angels. And that's one way that the community can come together to volunteer.
Love that.
And they're a little silhouette of a winged angel, and they're so pretty. And we like, because as Jesse Drew said, what it sounds like we do is so sad, and it is. But the little Angels for Allison office and everything's bright and cheerful because that's how Allison was, and we love our bright colors. And painting angels always is so much fun. It's like a big party when all the people gather together.
Jesse Drew, when you were talking about the number of families that you guys had, and you said 20, I thought you were going to say a year. When you said a month, both Eden and I looked at each other, and our eyes got huge, our mouth dropped. I can't imagine how daunting it is. Do you need volunteers?
Yes. I mean, so for our gala, we do need volunteers in that aspect. So we usually work with our community to have some volunteers there. And then for our Painting Angels, we have volunteers as well. But we're not like the biggest foundation in terms of like having groups that can come and do certain things. So those are kind of our volunteer efforts right now. A lot of what we do is kind of giving funds. So speaking of like 20 a month, we have helped over 1,200 families since we've been established, and we've given over $1 million in funds for funerals. And so fundraising is the biggest thing that we do. So, even in our community, which is why community is so important too, we have children who put on lemonade stands sometimes to just try to help us raise funds, especially like Aunt Drew said, she's a teacher, and her third graders will love to do stuff like that. So that's one of the biggest things we need help with, and anybody can fundraise in small ways like that. And we would love to, hear about it, share it on our social media, and put that out there if anybody wants to do something sweet like that.
And that's also one of my big things, because I try to encourage my third graders to do anything they can for any organization. And they are so adorable. They'll come in with a little baggie of money, and it could be $8 or it could be, $20. And sometimes they're a lot more, but they're so proud to say, Miss Aramis, we had a lemonade stand and the money is going to Angels for Allison, and hand it over. And it is, I make a big deal out of it because I want them to learn the love of giving to others and all. But it is a big deal, whether it's $2 or any amount, because it's something they did from their heart.
Heart-wrenching to have to think about that being a need, but people have that need. So
what really blew my mind is how frequently that need is there. I remember reading in the last week or maybe 2 or 3 weeks, the number one killer of kids between the ages of, I believe it was 4 and 14, is gun violence.
Oh.
It's the first time in history that it hasn't been cancer or some medical thing. And so you think about this need comes up, and it's just tragic. And the last thing on a parent's mind at that age, if they're not dealing with an illness leading up to, is that moment.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a staggering
it steals
statistic.
your life. It steals your whole life away.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's different from that point moving forward. But
And these ladies are doing.
these ladies are making a difference for, well, I say these ladies, they would probably be the first to tell you that they have volunteers and so much support that it makes it just a big group of love effort.
Could you imagine this becoming a global phenomenon?
I mean, I don't know what is in place in other areas of the country and in the world, but you hate for it to have to be something that's necessary, but it obviously is. How about we do a big old change in the mood? Drop a few emojis here to show a change in the mood.
Okay.
And go into the battle of the sexes for the week.
This is a Battle of the Sexes replay.
Here we go. Monday morning, Battle of the Sexes, back for his day number 2 from Green Cove Springs. Let's welcome in Chris.
And to take him on today, representing the North Side, it's Nikki.
Guys, today is Wonder Woman Day, and in honor of, we're going to describe some amazing American women, and you just tell us who they are. First question goes to our returning champion, Chris.
Chris, in 1878, this amazing woman fought for women's right to vote and became the first woman depicted on a U.S. coin.
Harriet Tubman.
No, Susan B. Anthony is who we were looking for there.
No score yet. Nikki, from 1820 to 1860, this amazing woman helped free slaves with her Underground Railroad system.
I have no idea.
Okay, actually, that's Harriet Tubman. So no score yet.
All right, Chris, in 1881, Civil War nurse Clara Barton founded what emergency assistance organization?
Red Cross.
Yes.
One for you. All right, Nikki, in 1912, Juliet Gordon Lowe founded what female-only youth organization?
I don't know.
Nikki, that would be the Girl Scouts. That's the female-only youth organization there, which means, Chris, if you get this one right, the game's over.
Chris, in 1955, this civil rights activist famously refused to give up her seat on a bus in Alabama.
Rosa Parks.
Correct.
We got another day for Chris. All right.
This is a Battle of the Sexes replay.
Here we go, Tuesday morning, Battle of the Sexes, back for his day number 3 from Green Cove Springs. Let's welcome in Chris.
And we're happy to have her here today. It's Connie from Mandarin.
Guys, today it's an unquiz. All of the answers are going to start with UN. First question goes to our returning champion, Chris.
Chris, this is a 5-letter word. It's a group of people joined together with a common goal, like maybe coworkers.
Union.
Yeah.
One for you. All right, Connie, also 6 letters. This word describes clothing that's suitable for any gender.
Unisex.
Yes.
Yeah, 1 to 1.
Chris, this is 6 letters. To remove someone from political office by election or legal action.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Unseat.
You unseat your opponent. All right, that's a break for you, Connie. You can pull ahead with this one. Connie, 6 letters. This word means one of a kind.
Unique.
Sure.
Yeah, 1 to 2, but you can tie it up with this one, Chris.
Chris, this is 7 letters. It's a tight-fitting one-piece garment of stretchable fabric.
She got me.
That is a unitard.
Oh, no! With a score of 2 to 1.
This is a Battle of the Sexes replay.
Here we go, your Wednesday morning Battle of the Sexes.
Please welcome our returning champion from Mandarin. It's Connie.
And here to take Connie on from the beaches, it's Spencer. All right, guys, today is National Horror Movie Day, and we're having a horror movie quiz for you. First question goes to our returning champion, Connie. Who wrote the classic novel that Frankenstein movies are based on?
Lewis.
No. Mary Shelley wrote that book.
No idea.
Score yet.
Spencer, who wrote the classic novel that Dracula movies are based on?
Oh, no clue.
Okay, that's Bram Stoker.
All
Bram
right, so
Stoker's
no
Dracula.
score yet. All right, Connie, a young girl named Reagan is possessed by a demon in what 1973 classic horror film? Too
no
much
idea.
time. We were looking for The Exorcist. Still no score yet.
Okay, Spencer, in what state did a chainsaw massacre happen in the 1974 classic horror film?
Texas.
Yes, Texas.
All right, one for you. You can tie it up with this one. Connie, a St. Bernard goes rabid after a bite from a bat in this movie based on a Stephen King novel.
Dracula.
No, we were looking for Cujo with a score of 1-0. Spencer, you're today's champion.
This is a Battle of the Sexes replay.
Here we go, Thursday morning, Battle of the Sexes. Representing his son, Gavin, from the beaches, it's Spencer.
And to take both of those two on from the north side, it's Jessica.
All right, since the Jaguars are playing the Green Bay Packers this weekend, we've got a little green quiz for you. First question goes to our returning champion, Spencer.
Spencer, which U.S. state has grass so green it looks blue?
Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky.
One for you. All right, Jessica, the Wizard of Oz lived in this city named for a shade of green.
Emerald.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right, 1-1.
Spencer, this green fruit is usually served in martinis, and yeah, it is a fruit.
Olive.
Yes.
2-1. Jessica, this green herb is muddled and served in mojitos.
Mint.
Yep.
Yes,
mint.
2-2.
Okay, Spencer, this green stone represents purity in Chinese culture and is often used in its jewelry.
Jade.
Yes, jade.
3-2, but you can tie it up with this one. Jessica, this bluish green stone represents protection in the Navajo culture and is often used in its jewelry.
I don't know.
Oh, we were looking for turquoise with a score of 3-2. Spencer, you're coming back tomorrow.
Men.
This is a Battle of the Sexes replay.
Here we go, Friday morning, Battle of the Sexes. Back from the beaches playing for his son, Gavin. Let's welcome in Spencer.
And to take him on today from the west side, welcome Ashley.
All right, guys, it's Fridays. That means leftovers. These are questions from past battles that didn't make it on the air. First question, as always, goes to our returning champion, Spencer.
Spencer, from our horror movies quiz, the madman who orchestrated the deadly games in the Saw movies was known as what?
Ooh, I don't know.
Jigsaw is that
Jigsaw
villain.
killer on that one. All right, no score yet. Ashley, also from our horror movies quiz, name the deadly red-haired doll that comes to life in the Child's Play movies.
Oh, Chucky?
Yes.
Yeah, 0-1, but you can tie it up with this one, Spencer.
Spencer, this is from our quiz, meaning that the answers all have UN as the first two letters. All right, this is a dangerous current of water that flows beneath the surface of the ocean.
Undercurrent.
Undercurrent or undertow, we'll take. Good.
All right, one for you. Ashley, also from our unquiz, the answer is going to start with the letters UN. In sports, Ashley, the competitor thought to have little chance of winning is called what?
The underdog?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. 1-2. Tie it up with this one, Spencer.
Spencer, from our amazing women quiz. 1981 was the year this amazing woman became the first female Supreme Court justice.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
No. Sandra Day O'Connor.
It was Sandra Day O'Connor with a score of 2-1. Ashley, you're coming back Monday as our champion. That was a tough loss for Spencer.
That was a tough one because what you didn't probably pick up in listening to all of that is we said that he was playing for Gavin. Gavin, his son, originally called up and tried to even lower his voice and sound older, and we busted him for that, but his dad played in his place. Gavin is a super smart kid.
Yes.
Gavin probably would have gotten that.
He probably would
And
have.
that's what stings. Everyone, have a great week. We'll be thinking of you and be safe.